Hello. 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 What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And the Phillies, they get swept in a shortened series because of the rain out last night. They lose in both games to the Atlanta Braves. Going into this series, you won 13 of 15, and you gained absolutely no traction on the Braves because they also won 13 of 15 coming into this series. You know what happened in these two? You lost 2 games in the division against the Atlanta Braves. Now, I know in my last recap on Tuesday's game, I know I said that this team was not winning the division. It was not realistic. It just wasn't going to happen. But, I would like to, be a little bit entertaining. I would like the race to be a little bit enticing. To be a little bit, interesting. No. I don't get that. What I get is 10 games away from first place in the division to the Atlanta Braves, and you lose both of these games, not because of your starting pitching, actually, because Ranger Suarez and Nola were actually both, in my opinion, great in these 2 games. Surprisingly, Nola was really good. Pitch count definitely got up there in the middle innings, but he still battled. He still got through his outing without allowing a run. He did his job. Ranger Suarez was really good on Tuesday. Made one mistake, and that was a home run. But besides that, he was really good. Both of your starting pitchers put you in positions to win the ball game. They did. And what happened in both ball games? Your offense was absolutely anemic. Your offense completely disappeared. Your offense did not exist. You scored 2 runs. 2 runs on Tuesday. 1 in the 5th inning and 1 in the 9th inning. You scored 1 run today in 10 innings. You didn't score a run at all in the first 9 innings of the ball game. You only scored a run because of the ghost runner and extras. That's the only reason why you scored. Besides that, your starting pitching and your bullpen up to that point, honestly, I don't even blame Junior Marte for this. I don't even blame it at all. Because you know why? What happened in that 10th inning? Yes, he does allow a run to start the inning. Force out, which leads to an RBI single. Okay, that happens. It's the ghost runner. It's, it happens. Runs happen because of that. But it was an unearned run. Doesn't go against him. You know what happens? Gets to 2 outs. A couple of runners on. Austin Riley up at the plate. Jams them a little bit. Flares it out to left field. A very routine fly ball liner right to the left fielder, Kyle Schwarber. Easy out, inning over, all that stuff. Nope. That didn't happen at all because you know why? Kyle Schwarber, my fucking God. Dude. My fucking God, Kyle Schwarber. What the fuck were you doing out there in left field? Why are you trying to dive for the ball in the first place? It is a routine fly ball that you only have to run a couple of feet towards to run up and just grab it. That's all you got to do. No, you're trying to get extra fancy with it. You got to dive for the ball. You close your glove a little too early. And you miss it. And 2 runs score because of that. And then everything, it's just a domino effect because a home run happens directly after it. Just a spiral out of control. complete and utter spiral. My God, Kyle Schwarber, get this dude out of left field. Get him out of left field right now. I don't hate Kyle Schwarber in the batter's box, but he did go 0 for 5 today. He looked pretty pathetic in the batter's box, not going to lie. 3 strikeouts. And obviously, as push comes to shove, he was the final out in the ball game with a couple of runners on base. When push comes to shove. You know, of course, because it had to end like that. It had to. You make that catch. You go into the bottom of the 10th. 1-0. Chance to win the ball game. You scored the run, so the game would have been tied. The game would have been tied. But no, you decided to dive for a ball that did not need to be dove for at all. You lose it. And Kyle Schwarber made a couple of those bad plays today, honestly. There was a ball, it was a play that Brandon Marsh dropped. Went off of his wrist, but Brandon Marsh has to run 50,000 feet because Kyle Schwarber takes a bad route to the ball, and because Kyle Schwarber is a terrible outfielder, he's going to make bad routes to every single ball that is hit to him. Then Marsh has to run 100 miles just to try to grab the ball. And sadly, he didn't catch it. And then there was a hit by Michael Harris, which Kyle Schwarber took 20 years to get to, which allowed Michael Harris to get to second base. If there was a competent outfielder out there, he would have hustled his ass to the ball to try to prevent Michael Harris from going to 2. Michael Harris is a fast player. He's a fast runner. But any competent outfielder hustles his ass to that goddamn ball and tries to prevent him from getting to second. It doesn't happen. And then in the nerve on Major League Baseball official scoring to rule that an error, to rule that a hit. To rule that a hit on the play that Schwarber dropped. I believe they eventually... No, I'm looking at this right now. It is not even an error. It's not even an error. No, they ruled it a hit. They ruled it a hit. And it's not even going to go against Kyle Schwarber for that error. Major League Baseball and your official scoring, it's absolutely dog shit. It really is. But, Kyle Schwarber in the outfield, get his ass out of there. He probably shouldn't even be playing tomorrow, in my honest opinion. You need to make a goddamn statement. You need to hold people accountable. If I were Rob Thompson, I believe he did call out Kyle Schwarber in the postgame presser. He did state that Kyle Schwarber was one of the main reasons why they lost this game. Also, yes, you didn't score a run in 9 innings. They ruled it a hit. They ruled it a hit. I can't believe it. I can't believe they ruled that a hit. You had 4 hits all game. You made Elder look like he was a god out there. He only allowed 3 hits in this ball game. You didn't hit a single person out of their bullpen. Minter, who has an over 5 ERA, and Iglesias, who has an over 4 ERA, and I believe the broadcast said in his past 4 outings he has an ERA over 11. And then you got 1 hit and 1 run off Anderson. Looking at the Phillies pitching, Aaron Nola was really good today, in my opinion. 2 hits allowed, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 103 pitches, 6 innings. He put you in a position to win the ball game. Gregory Soto had a little bit of base runner issues, a little bit of command issues, had an issue with his hand that the trainer needed to come out for, but he managed to get out of his situation. 101-mile-an-hour pitch to get the final out. Jose Alvarado gets out of his situation. Craig Kimbrell dominant in the 9th inning, 3 strikeouts. He strikes out the side. 14 pitches there. And then Junior Marte gets his ERA inflated because of that stupid non-error. And because of Kyle Schwarber, 4 hits, 5 runs allowed, 4 of those earned, and 2 strikeouts, and a home run allowed. 26 pitches. The home run wouldn't have happened if Kyle Schwarber caught the ball, and it would have been a 1-0 ball game going into the bottom of the 10th if he caught the ball. But yes, your offense needs to score in 9 innings of a baseball game. They didn't do that today. That is also one of the major reasons why you lost, because this offense over the past few games has been very, 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 very bad. Bad. I'm going to put an extra exclamation point at that. Bad has been very bad. Going back to Game 2 against the Athletics. So going back to Game 2 against the Athletics, they've scored, I believe, 15 runs. No, actually, not 15 runs. I completely miscounted that. That is my fault. My bad for that. They scored 8 runs, it looks like. 3 on the Saturday win, 3 3 on the Sunday win, which is 6 runs. They scored 2 runs on Tuesday, which is 8. They scored 1 today, which is 9. They've scored 9 runs in their past 4 games. You're not going to win many baseball games if you're scoring 9 runs in 4 games. Just putting that out there. Just putting that out there. Me and my bad math. Miscounting it 20 billion times. And now with yesterday's postponement and the game moved to September for a doubleheader, this is now a 2-game series, and you lost both of them and you got swept. And now you got to play the New York Mets, who own your asses regardless of how bad they're playing. Regardless of how bad they're playing. I don't care how bad the Mets are playing. They're a disaster right now. They are a disaster right now. They still own your asses. They swept you last time in Citi Field this year. Why do I have any confidence in the world that they'll win a series against the Mets? Because you drop these 2 games right now to the Braves, and if you lose another goddamn series to the goddamn Mets, I don't care that you won 13 of 15. I don't care that you won 5 straight series. You dropped the most 2 important series, the most important homestand before the All-Star break. I don't fucking care that you won 5 straight series. And yes, those 5 straight series were fun. It was good baseball to watch. Offense was clicking, pitching was good. And then you come into this huge stretch right here, starting with the Braves, and you completely drop the ball. Offensively. I wouldn't say pitching-wise, even though for the first game of this series, for some reason your best guys out of the bullpen were not available. Your starting pitching showed up. It did, and your main guys in the bullpen showed up today. Soto, Alvarado, and Kimbrel. I'm not blaming Marte for that, because that's all on Kyle Schwarber. It just is. Kyle Schwarber catches that ball, only 1 run allowed. It's not an earned run because of the ghost runner, and the home run doesn't happen. It would have been a tied ball game again because they scored in the 10th. But who knows if that would have happened regardless because of the way this offense is going. Just isn't. Seriously, their most consistent hitter lately has been Brandon Marsh. Because the past couple of games, he's actually been really good in the batter's box. Tuesday, he had 2 hits. He went 2 for 2 before getting pinched hit for. And today, Tuesday, he went 3 for 4. And then today, he went 2 for 2 before getting pinched hit for Pache. 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Yeah, the Braves went 3 for 13. They won the ball game. They won the ball game. I don't care. You went 1 for 12 on Tuesday with runners in scoring position. And seriously, and people that are looking at this and blaming Marte, you really have no other options either. Because for some reason they just want to keep Dylan Covey on this roster, and they're keeping Bilotti and Connor Brogdon down in AAA for an overextended period of time. No, but we got to have Dylan Covey on this roster. No, we got to have all these other guys on this roster that don't deserve to be in Major League Baseball. Dylan Covey does not deserve to play Major League Baseball. He just doesn't. No wonder why he keeps constantly getting waived everywhere he goes, but for some reason they're just keeping him on the roster. They're keeping him on the roster. I have no idea why. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. It is. It just is. If you're blaming Marte after that, I don't know what to tell you. It's a joke, man. It is a joke. And now we got to move on to the Atlanta Braves. You're 2 games above 500 again. Joy. Joy. After being 4 games above 500 coming into this little stretch. Now, with the rain out yesterday, your starting pitching, does it look better for the matchup against the Mets? I have no idea. I have no idea. Taijuan Walker, if you played yesterday, Taijuan Walker would have pitched today. Aaron Nola would have pitched yesterday, and we have no idea what the outcome of this series would have been. But for the most part, right now, you would have lost the series regardless. Let's see. Tomorrow, even if the game gets played tomorrow because the forecast does not look good, thunderstorms all day. Tomorrow's 7:05 Apple TV game note, by the way. Taiwan Walker against Kodai Senga, and we all know what happened the last time we faced Kodai Senga. Yeah, he diced us up. He did. Saturday, Christopher Sanchez against Carlos Carrasco. That's another national televised game. And Zack Wheeler against Max Scherzer on Sunday afternoon. And if I'm looking at the forecast for the rest of this weekend, yesterday it rained all day. No doubt the reason why that game was getting postponed. There is, it was completely understandable. You guys don't see this right now, but my cat is sitting right behind the monitor, and he is currently sniffing the back of the monitor. He might be walking over in a little bit, so you might see my cat on the screen. But if we're looking at tomorrow's forecast, Friday, and speaking of the cat, there he is. Hello, Gizmo. Tomorrow, 79 degrees, 86% chance of rain. During the daytime, showers and thunderstorms, chance of rain 90%, and during the nighttime, thunderstorms likely in the evening, then a chance of scattered thunderstorms later on, chance of rain 60%. There is no shot they're playing tomorrow unless the weather drastically changes overnight. There is no chance they are playing tomorrow's game. No chance. And then I think let me check the rest of it. I don't even know why I closed the app. And then for Saturday and Sunday, the forecast isn't as bad for chance of rain. Gizmo, don't touch the keyboard. 57% chance of rain on Saturday, scattered thunderstorms, and the same thing for Sunday, 48% chance scattered thunderstorms. It's supposed to rain a lot this weekend. We definitely need it. But definitely no shot they play tomorrow. But doesn't matter. Hi, Gizmo. He's currently walking in front of the monitor. He's trying to find something. I have no idea what he's doing. Gizmo, what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? Are you also mad that Kyle Schwarber dropped that ball in the outfield? Are you mad about that? Don't look at me like that. Let's see. Yeah, so you got that pitching matchup for this weekend. And then you get the day off on Monday. Then you go to Chicago to play the Cubs. You're back at home to play the Nationals. And then you're on the road for 6 more games until the All-Star break. Tampa Bay and Miami. Oh, this team. Gizmo, what are you doing? It's almost his time to eat. That's probably why he's doing this. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, but I'm just narrating as what my cat is doing currently. And looking at the standings right now, 2 games above 500, always nice. 10 games behind the Braves for the division, that's always nice as well. Mets, who you play next, they are 34-40. You are 4 games ahead of them. They have lost 2 in a row as well. They're 4-6 in their last 10, but that makes no difference because the Mets, for some reason, they just have your goddamn number going back to last year. Doesn't make no fucking sense. It just doesn't. But it does. But it's happening. And I can't guarantee you that the Phillies win a series against the Mets because we haven't won a series in the Mets in probably eons at this point. Starts with Taiwan Walker tomorrow, even if that's the case if they play, because I don't think they're playing tomorrow with the way the weather looks. Maybe that's the benefit for us. Maybe that's the benefit for us fans, so we don't have to be frustrated watching the Phillies, but knowing some way they'll find a way to force the game. Knowing... I just hate it. It's a joke. This goddamn team. I'll get to the YouTube chat in a little bit. We do have a voicemail here on the Anytime Hotline. You can leave those at 215-839-9885 with your thoughts and opinions on anything here. So let's get to this Anytime Hotline. Let's see what Sean has to say. I'm sure he's pissed as I am. I did not hit the play button.
Well, your first head-to-head challenge of the homestand was an epic fail. Not much to say here. I mean, just stating the obvious. I mean, the starting pitching both games was excellent. Ranger Suarez and Aaron Nola both stepped up. They put you in position to win the game. Your offense is totally anemic. Right now, this team can't hit off a tee. They haven't hit since game 1 in Oakland. And, bullpen, other than the legitimate guys, gets trounced. I mean, feel a little bad for Marte. He had to be shell-shocked when Schwarber dropped the ball. But it is what it is. I mean, the Braves showed why they're where they are and why the Phillies are where they are. And in closing, I've watched the Phillies for a number of years. Maybe before I die, they can actually get a left fielder out there that can actually play the position defensively. From Schwarber to Pat Burrell to Greg Luzinski to Pete Incaviglia, it's the same rotating door of Drek defensively, and it bit you in the ass today.
Oh, God. And if Schwarber gets out of the field, hopefully, he shouldn't even be playing tomorrow, regardless if you're playing or not. He should be benched, in my honest opinion, for a game to show a little bit of accountability from Rob Thompson. It should happen. I doubt it's going to, because he didn't do it during the entire situation of the base running blunders, even though they're still happening. So I won't be shocked if Rob doesn't bench Schwarber tomorrow or whenever they play next. So, he's got to get out of the field. It's a joke at this point on how bad of a fielder he is, as my cat's trying to bite my leg. It's a joke. 3 balls in this game that he had terrible reads on. He didn't even have a terrible read on the fly ball in the 10th. It's just a ball that he needs to catch. And for some reason, he wanted to dive for it. He shouldn't have needed to dive for it. But maybe because it's Kyle Schwarber and he's a terrible defender, maybe that's why he dove for it. Oh, God. It's a joke. It is a joke. This team drives me insane. Winning 13 of 15, coming into a huge series at home. 2 series. We don't know what's going to happen with the Mets, but they're most likely going to lose the series just because that's how the Phillies have been playing the Mets recently. Blue balls, drop the ball, whatever you want to call it. I don't have hope. I don't. I just don't. I simply don't. I don't know what else to say. Because they're overall with this game, besides your offense being very bad, and that's been the offense the entire year. Peaks and valleys. Extreme peaks and valleys. There's stretches where they're scoring 5 runs a game, and maybe they go on spurts where they're scoring 10 runs a game. And then they have this over a course of a few games. Maybe even a week. And of course, they choose to have that during the most important week so far, the first half of the season. We definitely should have looked more into the offense struggling against the Oakland Athletics. We probably should have. We definitely should have. But at that point, it was going good. They were winning ball games, regardless of the opponent that they were playing over that stretch. They rarely see the Oakland Athletics, so maybe that explained for why the offense struggled, but no, they're just going through their rut again. Their spurt of a couple of weeks in a row, they'll have good offense, and a couple of weeks in a row, they'll have a bad offense. And good luck to the pitching. Your starting pitching was not the reason why you lost these 2 games. Aaron Nola and Ranger Suarez were really good, actually. They put you in positions to win the games. Your offense didn't. Your offense didn't. That's also the bottom line. Say what you want about the lack of available arms for Tuesday. Your offense didn't put you in a good position to win it all. And today, your pitching did everything it could. It did everything it could. Nola did it. Soto did it. Alvarado did it. Kimbrel did it. Marte would have done it if it wasn't for Kyle Schwarber. It's a joke. It is. And before we end it off here, I'll go through the chat. I see a lot of you guys in here. Iris, Kyle is a liability in the outfield. I agree with that. 3 laughing emojis from Mario. I agree with that as well. Nicholas says, I'm so happy that this team makes me happy to watch them. Oh, that's very, very besides the point. Scott says, our 2 starters only give up 1 run in both games. You can't ask for anything more. Exactly. 12 innings combined and 1 run allowed. Can't ask for much more from your starting rotation. Cannot. Sergeant Gibby says the Phillies now have to beat the Mets. That's not guaranteed. They can always fix it later. They've done it before. I hope so. Oh, I think you're talking about the error for Schwarber. Well, the non-error, actually. Minter has been better of late, though. Look at the last 15 appearances. Yeah, that's probably bad by me. I'm just looking at the face stacks of the ERA. 9 of the 3 runs were in extra innings. Now the Mets who suck, but they will still sweep the Philadelphia Phillies. Dave Dombrowski has to do something major. People need to stop about the pitching. The hitting does not score unless it hit home runs, which they don't like last year. Harper came back too soon. He doesn't do much, which is a domino effect because Kyle Schwarber would be DH and someone better would be in left field fielding. Turner is not turning it around. Forget it. Covey was the only one to not have a run against him on Tuesday, but Covey still sucks. That's the bottom line. The Mets have scored a bunch of runs lately. They are due for a stinker. Lion Man, as a huge Braves fan, I enjoy watching the Mets and Phillies live postgame on YouTube. Well, I see that you did subscribe to the channel, Lion Man. I do appreciate that. I do welcome fans of other teams. Just don't be a dick. And we'll all have fun. Sergeant Gibby, the A's have more wins in June than the Mets. I've been saying bring back Jerry Martin to play left field in the late innings. Phillies are an unserious team. It's just a bunch of frustration here. I understand it. I feel you guys. I do. I do. This team, man. Very, very frustrating. That's all I can say. The Cubs keep winning. Well, I'm not shocked because of that. The Reds keep winning, though. The Cubs have a plus 26 run differential, and they're 2 games below 500. So either they're going to come back to earth and play above 500, or I have no idea. Because I keep saying that about the Miami Marlins, and they continue to win games even though they have lost 2 in a row. So hopefully that means they are coming back down there soon. I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed. I don't know. Maybe they'll have no game tomorrow. And we don't have to watch this team. New York fan, Yankees are right behind the Orioles. They are. None of those central teams are going to sell, aren't they? Most likely not, because technically they're all within it. Most likely. Maybe the Brewers will sell because they technically were involved last year and they still got rid of Josh Hader. So anything could happen with them. So who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I hate talking about this team right now. So I think that's where I'm going to call it for tonight, everybody. I appreciate everyone that joins the streams as always. This team makes me want to rip my hair out a lot. Hopefully the Flyers can get a stud in the draft. Well, we got to wait a week for that. Hopefully Danny Briere makes a trade in the time being, because there's a lot of noise surrounding that. So maybe the next time a trade happens, we'll be talking Flyers. Who knows? Maybe that trade could be tomorrow. Maybe there's no Phillies tomorrow. We talk Flyers because a trade happened and the Phillies got rained out. But for that, like I said, thank you for joining tonight, everybody. Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to check out everything in the description down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It does me a great deal of service. Join the TTP Sports family. Let's get closer to 800 subs. Also use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you once again for everyone for joining. I'll see you next.